Well, hello again. It's a fairly chilly Sunday morning in Cardiff, the day after a big rugby match, and I said it's a bit chilly. I'm on my way home from work, as always. It's just gone 7 o'clock. Yep, I have had my haircut the other day, at the time, because I was looking a bit scruffy. So, a bit lighter than it usually is. Anyway, you can see the castle over there. It's a bit lighter in the morning than it has been as of late. I suppose it's getting lighter much earlier now, which is quite unusual when you're working nights, because you're kind of used to getting to work in the dark and leaving in the dark, but now it's getting light. So, yeah, fun. Ooh, one of my favourite shops. Just passing Forbidden Product. That's it. Ah, there you go. Forbidden Product with all the geeky, cool, nerdy stuff in the window and all the. There you see. There you see all the geeky, nerdy, crazy stuff that I like to look at. But I don't often buy because I've never got the money, so I don't. But I do sometimes, as you know, when I get subscription boxes and stuff like that. That tends to be how I collect things like surprises and things I'm not expecting to get and things I probably wouldn't buy, because then it's kind of like feels like a waste of money. But if it's in a box I don't want to get in, it's kind of like a lucky dip and it feels less like wasting money for some reason. Not quite sure how, but it is. So yeah, sort of. As I said, there was rugby on last night. It was Wales versus Scotland, which is usually pretty friendly as far as rugby and that sort of thing goes. And the city isn't looking too bad this morning, because it was luckily quite an early kickoff. It was, I believe, 2:15. So it's a lot cleaner in the city centre than it would be if it wasn't quite busy. When it's quite a late one, the city centre is a complete pigsty by the end of it, with all wrappers and just junk everywhere. But this morning it's actually quite clean, as you can see around me. So my plan for the day: get some coffee and some sleep. Not necessarily in that order, maybe the other way around, who knows, depends what I feel like, how tired I am, or first down, I suppose. But plans are to do yet more Subnautica. As you may have noticed, I'm trying to do daily videos at the moment. Sometimes 2 videos in a day, if I can. It's not always easy, so I work full time over Friday and Thursday. Yeah, Friday night I have my son over, so I meant I couldn't really do a lot Friday and Saturday. So I recorded extra Friday during the day before collecting them after school. So then I could upload a video then and upload one Saturday. Oh, my hand's getting cold. Oh, maybe I should buy some gloves. Yeah, maybe that would be a good idea, because it's kind of chilly this morning. And for me, if I'm saying it's chilly, it means it must be really damn cold. Yeah, I don't like it from that angle as much. I prefer on the other side. Yeah, that's better. Easier hold that way. Being right-handed, much better. And also the way I've got the phone. I'm not using the camera, I'm using my phone. And it's all pointing me that way. If I put it that way, then the camera's too close. It's better far away. I should have used a selfie stick, but I'm too lazy to pick it up and take it out with me, so yeah, just can't go to that. Ooh, look at all the nice lights. Very nice. Don't know what it is. It's all right anyway. They're actually touchscreen ones. They don't actually look it, because usually, well, thumb does. They've usually got big pale bits on them so you can tell they're touchscreen ones. I think it's done. It is getting kind of cold and windy now. Not very pleasant at all. I don't usually mind the cold, I must admit, but we're just a normal cold. Not my big I usually don't mind the cold. I mean, it wasn't raining, so I've got a hat, but I don't have that's going to wear these gloves as well. The phone is not as stable and secure in my hand. That's a bit better. Yeah, that works fine. As I said, daily videos. So I've been doing Subnautica all week, which I've been enjoying. It's been quite a challenge to try and get them done daily. As I said, a couple of times I've had to record excuse me, more than one video in a day to make sure I've got something to upload the next day if I'm busy and have other things to do as well, like having my son over, friends over, doing shopping or whatever else I've got to do during the day. So that has made it a little bit more interesting. It's going on as well because I want to get on and just play the game, but I know I want to record it as well, and it takes a lot more because obviously I'm playing for maybe 2 hours. I'm trying to get just cut down to about an hour, get rid of all the like nonsense like farming and mining and fishing and all that sort of stuff that you don't want to watch. And a lot of the travelling back and forth, if nothing eventful happens, I'm just going from one place to another, is a bit dull to watch, so I don't really want to put everyone through that. Not enough people watch my channel as it is. I don't want to like scare people away by just being boring, so I don't do that. Hopefully, maybe. Don't know, tell me. Do I? Do I? I don't know. So yeah, obviously there's my coffee videos, which I'm going through way too many times. I'll do something about all my coffee machines at some point, but I have done online reviews of most of them. The only ones I haven't are my Tassimo and my Philips MCO. If you see my Instagram, you'll see the big line of them on my counter. I can now make coffee, not including like crappy instant. Don't do instant. It's not real coffee. No, don't do that. I can make coffee 11 different ways. Possibly obsessed, possibly addicted, possibly a little bit insane. Make up your own mind. I don't mind either way. I think I am possibly, definitely addicted. And it's becoming a bit of a problem because I'm running out of space. I'm going to have to move coffee machines into the living room and bedroom if it goes on much longer. Now I'm just waiting across the road. Oh, fun. I think that's cue for some music and just scenery for a bit. A bit of work really. It does get in the way of doing other things. I said I don't want to play games. I decide if I'm going to record it or if I'm just going to play it. Obviously Subnautica is one I want to play for some time. They've only just released the full version now. Last week before possibly. Yeah, it must have been a week before because I've been playing it for a week now. But I wanted to play that, the full version. I could have played the like pre-release and done all that, but I didn't really have much chance until I moved last year, as I've said before. Because life got in the way before then, and just didn't have the chance, the money, and now it finally came out, and I thought, yeah, I've got to do it, and I'll do some gameplay, especially after I've seen other people like Jacksepticeye raving on about it all the time, and Markiplier and so on. So it's something I wanted to do. So why am I doing it? Because it's kind of interesting. I don't expect to make lots of money and be rich and famous like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie, and all those. I doubt I'll ever get there. But that's not really the point, is it? It's coming out of your comfort zone, doing something that you're not necessarily comfortable doing, and talking properly would be a really good step in the right direction to doing YouTube, really, wouldn't it? Being precise and concise and saying exactly what you mean when you want to, rather than waffling on and meandering around like I tend to do more often than not, which is a little bit of a shame. Might get in the way, but oh well, that's me. Like it or lump it. Well, probably a little bit I expect, but hey, you never know. But yeah, it's just about enjoying it. So, bright light. Don't like bright lights, you may notice. It's doing something that's challenging. You know, playing video games is one thing. Now I'm from a generation that grew up as video games started. Oh, what's happened to my hair? So like, stick it up now. I didn't do that. That was a wind. And that's it. I started playing video games when video games came about. You know, Pong, the Atari, the Spectrum. If you even know what a Spectrum was, is it's a little computer with rubber keys. It started off with, what was it, 16k RAM was the first one. Yeah, I had 48 on mine. 48k of RAM on a computer is absolutely ludicrous. It was this tiny little machine. The games it ran were basic, a lot written in basic as well, to be honest, and they were kind of line drawing, monotone characters, and it was quite challenging to play some of the games. A lot of them weren't designed to be beaten, and they just like carry on forever or suddenly stop, and there's a lot of games you couldn't complete, and that kind of wasn't the point, and mostly they were rubbish, to be honest. By today's standards they were absolutely nothing. They were dreadful. So yeah, they were kind of basic and quite crappy at times. There was a lot of things they don't do in games anymore. Joysticks didn't appear for quite some time, and there was this really weird thing called joystick wrangling. Yeah, we're doing sports games like Olympics games and Daley Thompson decathlon. If anyone remembers that, you're all like me. But he was a quite famous British athlete back in the day, and then decathlete obviously. Well known for his time. Like back in the 80s, 70s, long time ago. But he used to do adverts, and he was one of the first sports people to have games named after him. And the way you used to do that, instead of just putting kind of a if you walk in and see somebody doing that just from behind, it looks rude. It's probably the easiest, nicest way to say it. But yeah, it was interesting times to grow up with the birth of computers. Obviously Nintendo came along, Sega, then Atari, you know, well obviously Atari before a lot of that, but you know what I mean. It was an interesting time. You know, when you played computer games back then, you'd play in your bedroom, sometimes in the living room, if you were lucky enough to have a TV in your bedroom, which I wasn't, frankly. I had a good TV, it was nice. And a lot of the time you'd tend to be quiet. You'd obviously chat when you started to play multiplayer games, not that there were many, but it was a different time, so it was kind of a quiet time. You'd play the games to kind of be out of the way, not be with the rest of the family. I don't mean that in a horrible way, but you know, going off and doing your thing and kind of going off and being quiet and just doing the stuff yourself. Very different to how games are today, especially with YouTube. It's a very odd thing to see, to be honest. In the world, and maybe the UK, obviously where I am, at the time we didn't have video games. I'm going way back to early 80s, kind of late 70s, but I remember the early 80s because of 95 when we started. Yes, I am that old. We had 3 TV channels at the time. Most people didn't have colour TVs, some people didn't have TVs or phones, oddly enough. No internet, nothing like that whatsoever. So we had three TV channels, BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV. Obviously BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, been around since forever, because they did obviously radio as well, back in the day. And ITV, Channel 3, that's sometimes called, it's usually just ITV. There were a few variations, HTV and lots of other ones, regional ones, so they had more kind of regional shows and regional news all across the country in Wales and Scotland and so on as well. Now, it was kind of strange when you think only 3 TV channels and only ITV had adverts. Very strange for you American lot that have adverts after every 5 minutes TV show. BBC don't. The BBC is funded by the people, whether they like it or not, with what's called a TV licence. Yes, in the UK you're supposed to have a licence for your TV, and they do try and enforce it quite strictly, and there are huge fines. Luckily, there are kind of loopholes to it. If you can prove that you do not watch any BBC channels, including iPlayer or the internet these days. Obviously back in the day you couldn't do that and you have to have it anyway. Then you don't have to pay for one. Me, being the person that I am, doesn't really watch TV. I generally watch YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, stuff like that. I don't have a TV license. I called the nice people and said I don't want one. I don't use it. I don't have an aerial. I have cable TV. Well, could have cable TV, but I don't. I just have internet connection. That's it. No connections to my TV for getting terrestrial TV or satellite TV or cable TV or anything else. I use the internet only. And the money I save on the TV license actually pays for Netflix and Amazon Prime. So that ain't bad really when you think I get all that programming, which is better than BBC put together. Apart from Doctor Who is like the only decent thing, and Sherlock, but that's pretty much finished now. I don't think they're going to make any more of that, unfortunately, because I really like that. But yeah, Doctor Who is the only thing I would watch on TV, and I can watch that at somebody else's house. Don't bother me. I can watch it with friends. It's fine. Don't matter. As long as I get to see it, I don't care. But no, why would I pay all that money for something I'm never going to watch? But I am straight away to the point. Like I said, that's what it was like back in the day. Free TV channels, no internet, not much home video, to be honest. Some people had video players, recorders were a little bit away yet. We didn't even have remote controls, believe it or not. If you want to change the channel on the TV, you had to physically walk to the TV and press a button. They did then create remotes for like the video recorders when they came out, and you had to plug it in with a long wire. Yeah, remote control started with wires and about 4 buttons. They were incredibly basic, but when they came out, they looked good. As long as the cable was long enough, living room. Otherwise you still have to get a remote, you get a TV, very strange. Yeah, so we had video games that just plugged into the back of the TV. Either computers like the Spectrum, there's the Apple II we had at home as well, which had actual monitors. Unfortunately we had 2 monitors for it. One of them was orange monochrome, one was green. No colour, just those colours, just black and orange or black and green. Lots of fun. It was, I know, what it was in the day, it was all we had. So it was quite good, it was quite amazing because computers were new and were shiny and cool. Excellent and great, yeah. And we slowly got Nintendos and everything else. But the thing of how we used to play games then instead. You'd play a game, you'd talk with your friends or like your brother, but it wouldn't be like an ongoing narrative like it is these days. Now I've got a 9-year-old son who's 10 next month. I've mentioned before Jack. I talk about it every now and then. At some point he may be in a video. Who knows? Maybe you'll be lucky to see him. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But he's grown up with the YouTube generation. So when he plays video games, he doesn't shut up. He talks the entire time like there's hundreds of people watching him. And he's by himself, or I'm in the room with him, and I'm his audience. So it's kind of weird, somebody like me, who's always kind of just played the game as it is and not kind of shouted about it and reacted to it in a overly dramatic manner, should I say. It's a very strange thing to get used to. Very strange indeed. I'm home now, and it's dark. But watch this. Hey Google, turn on the light.
Sure, turning the living room on.
That made me feel like Tony Stark. Oh, what? Absolutely wicked. And sad, I suppose, and lazy, but cool. Hey Google, purple light.
You got it. Changing the living room to purple.
Hey Google, green light.
Okay, changing the living room to green.
How epic is that? Hey Google, red light.
Sure, changing the living room to red.
Okay, that's probably enough playing. Hey Google, white light please.
Sure, changing the living room
There you go.
to white.
Yes, I'm sad, lonely, maybe, but it's cool, who cares? And just to prove a absolutely ridiculous point, hey Google, turn on the TV. Click, click, click. So, back to what I was saying about video games. I got sidetracked by telling Google things. I'm sure my neighbours get fed up with me saying, okay, Google, all the time. See, I'm trying to not say it too loud because it'll hear me.
Sorry, I don't understand.
I did it quiet. Stop listening to me. See, I can turn the microphone off. But as I was saying, it's kind of one of those odd things because when I play video games, it's always just kind of just play it and talk in your head and what you're doing, not talk out loud. But as I said, Jack has grown up watching people on YouTube like I keep saying Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie, Dan TDM, and a plethora of others. See, word of the day, cool. And he's got into the habit when he's playing games. He constantly talks, and it's a really odd thing to start to get used to because you're not used to that. Like from my generation anyway, and all the people, you're used to people being quiet, just playing the game and getting on with it. But he has to tell everything and wants people to look and watch what he's doing. I know it's kids always want you to say, have a look at this, look at this. It's even more so with video games, it's kind of strange. So for me, doing YouTube and talking at the same time is quite challenging, to be honest. Playing games and talking about it constantly isn't as easy as it sounds. Because you think, oh, I talked a lot there, and you play it back to edit, and you're silent half the time, think, that's crap, cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. And it's quite odd, because you have to just keep going on and on and on and on for no reason whatsoever other than to talk. So something that I found has helped me was doing that. Sorry, itchy nose. Trying to find a live stream recently. I wish I could talk. Maybe I'm just tired because it's too early in the morning and my first night back at work, which is always a challenge, as I'm sure anyone that works nights knows when you've had some days off. Yes. It's weird getting back to doing nights when you're used to being up during the day, so yeah, it's a little bit of an odd one. But yeah, doing the live stream for 24 hours was quite interesting. I'd say challenging as well, because I had to just sit there and just play games and try and talk constantly, and it was a weird thing, and I kind of got used to it. I was just then talking to myself, and it kind of felt a bit weird. There wasn't really many people watching it. If I'm honest, I spent a lot of time alone. Nothing new there, I suppose. Yeah. But it was quite interesting. I found I was playing Stardew Valley for quite a lot of it. I don't know if I look like I've got a big bag in my eyes. Do I look that bad? Yeah. Maybe it's just dark shadow. Maybe I'm tired. Maybe I should get some sleep. That's just a shadow. It's a weird shadow. I should have more light. But I haven't. So I'm not going to bother getting out because that's going to take too long. I'll get out later when I'm doing pop-up videos and I'm doing Subnautica later. Anyway, ignore me. I'm just waffling on again. Yeah, I was playing Stardew Valley a lot. And after the live stream, when I started playing it again just for my own entertainment, I found I was talking. And I actually stopped and went, who the hell are you talking to? Nobody's listening. I'm not recording it, but I got into the habit of talking. So I think it's something you kind of, once you get into the habit of talking and playing games or talking and walking around and whatever else you're doing for YouTube, you get into the habit of doing that day to day. And I suppose it's a good thing because it gets you into the habit of it and it becomes second nature. You don't think about it and you just do it naturally. And you just say the things that come into your head. That's where all the improv and everything else comes into it that, you know, the people I've mentioned 100 times are really good at, because it's quite funny because they're talking exactly what they're thinking as it comes through, like there's no filter. You know, in modern life and a lot more previously than now, people tend to be a lot more open with what they say and say what they mean a lot more. Years ago, you'd always kind of bite your tongue and not say things that are on your mind. So it's kind of weird to kind of take that filter completely out your system and just say what's on your mind about whatever situation, which can be not necessarily great for some people, but it is more entertaining. And that's something that I have to kind of get used to, just talking, because yeah, I can be quite sarcastic and things like that, and fairly quick-witted at times. I suppose I come up with things that I probably shouldn't say more often than I actually say it, I suppose. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that'll work more for YouTube and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's kind of weird seeing different generations and how they react to video games. Video games now said are so completely different to what they used to be back in the day, and I've been playing video games since day one, pretty much, you know, with Pong and all that sort of stuff, Attic Attack and all that. I remember when Doom came out. Yeah, oh, excuse me. So maybe I am tired, I need to get some sleep, and I'm just kind of waffling on pointlessly, as I sometimes do, especially when I'm tired. So what was the point of all this? Yeah, that's why I'm doing YouTube, is to get into the habit of that, because I used to be really shy. Believe it or not, I never used to talk much. I was really shy in school. And a lot of that changed when I went to university, because we had to do a lot more technical talks and stand in front of a group of people and talk. Did a little bit in college as well, but more in university. And I've done it in job interviews, and I've done it in jobs, and I've gone on training courses, and you have to stand up in front of a crowd of people and talk about different things. And it's really been helpful for me, because I found I can now just talk to people anytime, anywhere, and it doesn't bother me. It kind of looks like confidence, some people will say, but it's just not caring, pretty much. It's just like, it's just what I have to do. I'm just talking. I can talk to anyone. Let's just do it. I've done a lot of call center work, so I can talk on the phone. And I think all of that has kind of prepared me for doing the whole YouTube thing and talking in front of cameras and people and that sort of thing. And you get kind of used to it and not umming and ahhing and pausing too much. And you find that you can just talk because you're thinking ahead of what you want to say as you're saying it a little bit more than you might do in general day-to-day life when you're just talking. When you're trying to plan videos and do video games, you're kind of thinking ahead a couple of steps. Not too far, because then it's too scripted and you won't remember it as far. But you're trying to get maybe a sentence ahead of what you're saying. And it's kind of weird getting the mental attitude to be thinking about that ahead of what you're actually talking about. So then you're not pausing and and ah and all that sort of stuff, which I'm doing anyway, because you're thinking about a lot more of what you're saying and how you're saying things. So I think it's quite good life skills as well that you learn from doing YouTube, and the life skills you do in day-to-day life if you're stand in front of an audience or a group of people or employees, kids, or whatever else. It's kind of all transferable skills, because you're talking in what would usually be an uncomfortable situation. A lot of people really don't like talking to cameras. It's kind of weird talking to yourself, but imagine there's people the other side listening, and it's a really odd one. Like when you're doing a live stream or something like that, and you know there are people there that can react and can see it. It's really odd. Now, I don't have a big channel, as I've said. I don't expect to be big anytime soon. If I am one day, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to do this full time and be able to do a lot more videos and travel around and have fun and do all the other things as a proper job, rather than just trying to squeeze it in when as I can, like I do at the moment. I don't expect to. I've got 280 something subscribers. Most of my videos get about 20 views. Not a lot. Okay, I've got some that are over 4,000 views, some that are less than 20 views, less than 10 views maybe. But no, we all start somewhere. I said I'm not doing it to become rich and famous. That would be nice, but that's not the initial goal. The goal is to just have fun doing it. And I said my son doesn't live with me anymore, so he gets to watch whenever he wants, and he can see me and, you know, interact with me on that level as well, which I think is quite nice, because I can play a game and he can watch me play a game. And tell me, oh, why don't you try this game? And I can play that game, and at some point he'll obviously interact with my channel in more ways, and maybe do some collaboration, because he should hopefully have a channel at some point as well. And it'll be really cool to see, you know, someone his age who has grown up on YouTube and what YouTube becomes, and what actually happens in the future. Because is YouTube going to stay forever, or is somebody else going to take over, like, you know, all the other social media? Like, remember MySpace? Yeah, what happened to that? It's gone. Facebook's there now instead, and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat, and there's hundreds of different ones. So obviously they're all doing it. You get Twitch as well, obviously, for doing gameplay videos and vlogs and everything else. Amazon are apparently doing one soon, so we should see what that's going to be like. It may be interesting. Excuse me. Oh, I should probably go to sleep soon. It's gone 8 o'clock. And Facebook are doing it as well now. I'm not going to go into the big nightmare they did with a recent esports event, which really went badly, and lots of people got in trouble, and some DRM stuff took down people's videos, and then the publishers say, nope, that's wrong, you can't do that, it's our game. And yeah, there's a lot of nonsense with Facebook, but they do have quite a lot of people on it. But I think a lot of them are older as well. They're people's grandparents that aren't into that sort of thing. So I don't know what the future will hold. YouTube has been changing a lot lately, and has been penalising a lot of people in possibly the wrong ways. Some things they've done are positive, some things they've done are incredibly negative. The ad apocalypse and so on many times is not necessarily good. So it'll be interesting to see how the future of gaming and media and so on change, because YouTube has changed video games immensely. Like I said, when I was growing up, if you wanted to have a walkthrough for a game, you'd have to wait until it was in a magazine, possibly get a special book or something about the game. There were no gameplay videos. They did start doing them at some point. A lot of the magazines started to produce videos that you could get that had gameplay and that sort of thing. So that's where a lot of it started, but now you can just search on the internet for any game and get a walkthrough. You want cheat codes, you can look it up on the internet. Back in the day, you'd have to buy magazines that would cover all that, or friends that have already discovered it or bought the magazines, get the information off of them. Totally different now. It's so easy with the internet. Oh, yawn again. And it's weird seeing how much things have changed at short time. Being able to use a phone, like this as a camera and carry it around with everything. Oh, my first mobile phone was in 1998. That's getting back a bit. So yeah, it's insane. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the next few years, because it's exciting and it's fun and I want to be part of it. I know I'm enjoying myself at the moment. I'm enjoying doing the YouTube thing. Said it's not doing great yet. I'd hopefully one day it might kick off a bit more. I can get a few thousand subscribers maybe and get, a couple of comments every day. I'm hopefully improving as I go on. I know I've got a long way to go. My editing skills aren't the greatest. My thumbnails are awful, but I don't have much in the way of photo editing software and Photoshop and that sort of thing, so I can't afford it yet, because I haven't got a lot of spare cash for that sort of thing, but everything else I'm doing. Maybe one day. Okay. These ones are getting ridiculous now, so I should probably stop waffling on about nothing, because it wasn't really a real plan. I was just walking home and thought, it's kind of nice weather outside, it looks kind of nice and clean, so I'll start talking. And didn't really plan it, but and it starts to turn to rant about video games and YouTube, so maybe I should probably stop them. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. So I'm trying to do a lot more vlogs and I'll try and do a lot more planned stuff, but I think sometimes just sitting and venting and just talking about nonsense is sometimes quite a good and nice thing to do, and it gets me into the habit of talking to a camera. I need a proper camera though, with DSLR, because because I've got not much along those lines at the moment. I've got a crappy webcam, I've got some digital camera equipment, so on, and a little like action cam. But that's really about it. I tend to just use my mobile phone. No, this looks weird. Mobile phone for most of my video recording, apart from gameplay, which obviously I then use the webcam. So I need to get some better equipment, but I can't afford it. Or really justify it until my channel gets to a point where it's actually bringing in something for the time that I'm doing. But at the moment it is just a kind of hobby thing, because it's not generating any income whatsoever so far, especially now with the latest ad apocalypse. I'm not even going to get close to getting any adverts on my channel, so I've got a long way to go. Need at least 1,000 subscribers. I'm way off when I hit it. Maybe I'll do a prize draw. We shall see. Anyway, thanks all for watching. Hopefully this wasn't too bizarre and boring. It might have been. I don't know. I have to wait and see, I suppose. Said I'm just trying to do more vlogs and just talk and rant and just get used to talking to a camera and come up with stuff. So hopefully it's not been too bad. Hopefully you'll come back and subscribe and like and do all the other stuff that everyone tells you to do in every single YouTube video there is. So anyway, thanks all for watching. Come again soon. Bye bye.